Hi, I'm Angela Brooks Osborne, and I'm here with Dawn Brolin. Dawn Brolin is a certified public accountant and managing member of the Power Accounting LLC. She's nationally recognized accounting, tax, and consultant firm. With more than 16 years in the field, Dawn has an in-depth accounting experience coupled with a personal understanding of the challenges of running a business. And I really thank you so much, Dawn, for joining us and coming out and just giving me a little insight to who you are and giving my audience a sneak peek of what we're going to be talking about.
Thank you so much for having me. Of course, I mean, I love talking to entrepreneurs because I am one, so I can relate.
Let me ask you, how did you get started? Like, how did, what made you, like, as an accountant, I don't see accountants on stage very often. They don't come out, right?
Right.
So I'm like, and when we do, we kind of start to fall asleep a little bit. So I just, what made you decide to get up there and...
I've always been an outgoing person. I've always, loved to make people happy and make them laugh. I've always kind of have a comedic twist to my presentations. And, I feel like I just got to this point where I'm like, why am I'm hogging this information that I know. I'm not sharing it with anyone. I'm sitting behind a desk and this is really boring. So, to be out with the people, if you will, and not sitting inside. So I did get involved with Intuit in about 2008. And I started doing some What's New tours and speaking and training and teaching to accountants. So you can imagine an accountant teaching an accountant, that room is like, everybody's asleep. They got newspapers up. And so, I did that for many, many years. And then I started to say, I really want to reach out to the business owners that I'm working with now in my practice. I need to get out there and get in front of business owners that aren't my clients. They don't need to be my clients, but I need to affect those entrepreneurs and help them learn. So I just made a decision. And then when I get up there, I'm not nervous at all.
One of the things by getting out there and we get better clients from doing that because we're going to teach them how we like to work and the challenges that other people have, right? So when we get up there, we talk about what our jobs is and what we're excited about. If we're passionate about, the passion comes off.
I love that what you said. You said, getting out there with the people and sharing with them what you know and what you're passionate about, and realizing that honestly, regardless of the industry, we're all in this together. If you look at statistics, the entrepreneurs are the ones who are making things happen. And so for me, it's about that. Who is my ideal client and why am I working with people who, and I love what you said, I want them to know how to work with me, not me how to work with them, because they don't know how to work they don't know the rules around accounting. They don't know the rules around marketing. That's why they come to you. That's why they want your advice. So for many years, it was, oh, you want me to come to your office and sit and pay your bills? Okay. Well, that's stupid. That's such a waste of time for me, right? It's a waste of their money. So instead I say, okay, here's what you're going to do. We're going to implement something called Bill.com. We're going to implement something where you get this stuff up in the cloud and then on your phone, you can approve your bills and pay them. And you're not spending time at night working instead of spending time with your family, which is most entrepreneurs. You do your day job, which is your business, all day, and then you work on your business at night. You're right. It's just about the passion and about, I know what they're going through because I am a business owner. And it's one thing to be a business owner, not being like a business owner versus a self-employed person. And they're two totally different things. And there's a stage, it's a process to get from being a business owner, from a sole practitioner or an entrepreneur to a business owner. And they're very different things.
All right. I'm looking forward to hearing what those different things are for sure.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Delegation, Angela.
Right. Well, working on your business, working in your business, I get that. So as an accountant, you're the perfect person to be able to explain the numbers in that way, in the way that, where's your passive income? Who's your ideal client? I mean, who wouldn't listen to you when you're the one that has the bottom line and the numbers in the end?
Part of it is there's a lot of fear factor in there when it comes to, I'm going to hire somebody. Oh, well, that's going to take the money away from me. Well, wait a minute. Did you look at the numbers yet? You're going to pay that person 40 grand. You're going to make 120 and gross, and you're going to net out 70,000. What do you mean you're losing money? Like,
don't forget saving time on learning how to do it, saving time on the mistakes or money on the mistakes that you're going to make. So absolutely.
You are not an expert at everything. So when you're not, and you get to the point where you're like, okay, I can no longer do this. Like, that's a time to hire when that happens, because you are essentially losing money when you are wasting time on things that you are not the expert. I am not a social media expert, and I never want to be one, but I have to be in social media. So I hired someone to handle that. And it comes to a point in your business where and it's not, this makes me crazy. It's not an expense in your business. It's an investment in your business. And people think the opposite. If money's going out, I'm spending money. Not necessarily. You're investing money in many cases. And if you are spending, it's because you're spending it on ridiculous things, and you're not making good business decisions because you don't know the numbers.
What was your aha moment though? Like, what made you go, you know what, I'm going to like this, I'm going to impact other people and teach them. What was the deciding factor? Was there a moment?
Yeah, there was an advanced certification for QuickBooks back in 2006, 2008, 2006, I think 2006. And it was in Boston, and then they don't do those live events anymore to get advanced certified in QuickBooks. And so I went to it, and this woman, Leslie Capichetti, who was the instructor, lived from Boston. She was the presenter. She taught us all the stuff. And I was just so impressed by her. And she had a sweater, and it said Intuit Trainer Writer Network on it. And I was like, I really want that sweater. So I went up to her, because it's all about the loot. So I go up to her and I said, Leslie, how do I get one of those sweaters? And she said, oh, well, you want to join the Trainer Writer Network, and you want to join the Accountant Council. I'm like, what's that mean? And she's like, well, go here and do this and do that. And I did. So I applied, I got accepted into the Accountant Council, which almost automatically got me into the Trainer Writer Network, which is doing the presenting on behalf of Intuit. Right. And so when it was just like kind of a whirlwind, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is so wicked cool. Like, I was super pumped. And ever since then, I'm like, this is what I should be doing. I shouldn't be sitting behind a computer. Not that I'm not good at it, but I'm more passionate about teaching people. And when she she gave me a hand up, right? She said I pay that forward every single day.
Since I started really giving back, but the other thing is making sure that every action I do is related to my big picture. You know what I mean? So, because it's not really honorable to help everybody that asked me if it doesn't fit the big picture, because then I'm torn in different directions and I don't get things done and that kind of thing. But if everything fits the big picture and it works for, win-win situation, I always look at that, the win-win-win for everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Dawn's going to be coming to Canada in November to Mississauga, Ontario, which, if anybody doesn't know, is right next to Toronto. It's basically Toronto. So you're going to come into the airport within 20 minutes. You're at our event, and Dawn's going to be speaking on the second day, closing up the event. If you haven't seen her sizzle video yet, I'll post it on our website.